Minerals are all around us and are key parts of our everyday lives. In fact, we couldn't live without them. Take, for instance, limestone. Did you know that limestone is used to produce rubber, plastics, and paints, as well as concrete and asphalt? Even the device you're watching this video on is made with minerals. Limestone in the plastic and rubber components, copper and silver in the wiring and control boards, and high-purity quartz sand in the fiber optics and monitor screen. These examples scratch the surface of how minerals affect our lives, but it's important to remember that minerals are not without hazard. In this video, we'll discuss the possible hazards of working with silica. First off, what is silica and where is it found? Silica is an inorganic material, which means it will not break down over time. It's one of the most common minerals in the Earth's crust. Crystalline silica, also referred to as quartz, is found in soil, sand, granite, concrete, rock, and many other materials. Each mineral has different levels of silica content. So, how can silica harm us? Well, silica dust can harm us if we breathe it in, either in small doses over a long period of time or in large doses over a short period of time. This leads to a lung disease called silicosis. That said, our bodies can handle very small doses of silica particles and, depending on the size of the particle, can get rid of larger particles via the nose or trachea. To better understand the size of these particles, consider the size of a human hair. A single hair can measure between 50 to 70 microns in diameter, while dust, pollen, and mold are less than 10 microns in diameter. Silica dust that is less than 10 microns is respirable crystalline silica and leads to silicosis. These small particles cannot be seen with the naked eye. Typically, if you can see the dust, the particles are larger and will be blocked by the nose. But with the larger particles, respirable dust is present and can potentially make its way into the lungs. What is silicosis? Do this exercise with me. Take a deep breath in and hold it. Then breathe out. Did you feel your lungs expand and then contract to let the air out? Our lungs are designed with elasticity in mind and contain little sacs called alveoli. Any tiny silica particles that make their way into our lungs are foreign, so the alveoli naturally fight them by covering them, which creates scar tissue. Over time, the scar tissue builds up, and the more silica we expose our lungs to, the more scar tissue we create, and the worse the silicosis becomes, eventually leading to a loss of lung elasticity and decreased lung function. The good news? We can lower our exposure to silica. OSHA lowered the permissible exposure limit from 100 micrograms per cubic meter of air in half to 50 micrograms per cubic meter of air for an 8-hour shift. We can reduce our exposure by using dust control measures when working on materials with silica. This might mean using a saw with a vacuum attachment to remove the dust from the area, or using water to suppress the dust. Lastly, PPE such as respirators can be used to prevent dust from entering the body. If you need any assistance with your respirable crystalline silica program or have questions about working with a product that contains silica, contact the Corporate Safety Department. Please take these precautions when working with materials that contain silica and take deep breaths as you go about your day. And remember, you have the power to stop anything that is unsafe. Safety is job one.